So you've picked up Rend for the first time and you want to hop into a game and kind of get going. That's what this video is going to be about, your first experience in Rend. It's going to be like kind of a course over a couple hours. We'll cover your basics and then the guild basics. Now normally you'll find servers of different ages you'll hop on, and the factions will all be at different stages. There'll be different people running around doing different things, but what we're going to do is start on a fresh server so that we can go over all the basics so you can understand what each station and everything does. Now I am making this video in alpha 0.47.91.10556, so some things might change. They probably will change, and actually rather quickly. So if anything has changed in this video that needs to be addressed, please let us know down in the comments. You'll be doing all of us a favor. I will go ahead and make a new video if enough changes that it warrants a new video, so check down in the comments for that as well. Anyways, this is your main server page. This is what you're going to see. You're going to see unofficial and official servers up in here. The official ones here are always EU or North America servers. You got a whole bunch of unofficial ones now that are showing up, which is actually really rather cool. This list is populating like crazy. Even just a few days ago, this list wasn't maybe a third of this size. But you can join any type of server you want. Usually the menu will say what type it is. If you want to join an official, which is just the easiest, go ahead and look for one of the officials. And then join server. But for our sake, at this point in time, I have a community server, and it is actually under my name. So if you need to go to a passworded server, make sure you select password protected after clicking on filters, and then I'm going to just search mine so it only brings mine up. So there we go. So I'm going to go ahead down the corner here and enter my password in. There we go. I hope I spelled it correctly. And then I'm going to join the server. It is spelled incorrectly. So this is the first screen you're going to see here. There's 3 different factions in the game, and they can have up to 20 members on each faction at the same time. So you can, on the vanilla servers, you can have up to 60 members, but it depends on the private ones, how many they set. And then you can select your character as well. We're going to go ahead, we're going to go with a male. There's not much right off the bat here to change. This will probably change drastically down the road here too. But I can just randomize here, and you know what? I like this dude. We're going to name him. I'm going to go down here, name him Skippy3. And then once you've named them, chosen, you know, whatever you want. Like, look at it. There's a bunch of different hairstyles and stuff you can go through here too, if you're into that type of thing. But we're going to click on join, and it'll just take one moment. So the first thing you're going to see here is the general spawn area. It doesn't matter which faction you choose. They all have the same spawn areas. There's only minute differences. We are the yellow color here, it appears. Now, the first thing you're going to see is a whole bunch of floating islands, some stuff in space, and a giant tree. Big tip, that giant tree, that's north. You don't have a map or anything, so that's really your only central point of reference. When you're looking at that tree, you're looking north, and then we are south of it. And if you look ahead, you'll actually see our faction base over there. So that's actually where we want to end up heading towards. Now, if you join a populated server, there'll probably already be a base set up over there. There'll be people running around doing things. But to make things easier to show you guys the basics, we're going to keep this pretty empty. My community does know about it. We might have a few people hop on and help us with the faction base later on in the video. But first thing that should pop up is you do see this little thing here coming up, and you'll probably go mad because you can't get to it. Maybe press escape, that way you can get to it. But the first tooltip that should come up should be press left alt, and what it'll do is it'll actually lock your mouse. You can see me moving around now, and then you can actually close the windows. So we're going to go ahead and stop showing tutorials because this basically is one. It'd be kind of pointless. But if you are playing, I do highly recommend leaving it up. Just press alt to actually close these windows. You can also get to your different bars here as well, which I'll explain in a second. So first you have your stamina bar. That's pretty self-explanatory. It's how fast you can run. You have your health bar. That's, well, your health. You don't want to lose that or you die. You have your hydration bar. This is very important. Hydration and food is the biggest deal right off the bat. You have your energy bar, which is pretty much your food, how much you can eat and how long you can hold it. Your spirits bar, which we'll explain later. And your weight, which is how much you can carry. And over here we have our tool belt, your animal once you're able to tame. your weapon slot, your tool slot, and then your spells. And then this is all your other stuff you can put in here, like band-aids and food. So first thing you want to do is open your crafting menu. Take a look at your crafting menu here. It'll come up under basic survival by pressing C. And just got to make stuff, right? So you got to go around, you got to look for things. So we're going to need 3 roughwood sticks and 1 fiber twine. And fiber twine is made in this crafting as well. So you have to look, it's raw fiber. So you have no tools or anything when you first start. So the best thing to do is look for a bush. We're going to look for one of those here. There it is, right over there, by that tree over there. These are the best source of fiber right off the bat here. So just run up to the sucker, go ahead, and give her some punches. Sweet. And now we have some fiber. Now, there is another way to look at this menu too. If you actually click on the icon where it says Basic Survival, it actually shows you the trees and how to unlock stuff. So if you want to go back, just click on the back button and it goes all into a compact menu. Or you can go here. I actually recommend making this one because the first thing you want to do is literally just go down this chain. So now we can actually make armor. For that, we're going to need some raw fiber and fiber twine, so we're gonna have to collect some more of that so we can get our gear going on. And we want to get a basic tool too, which is our spirit hatchet for wood stuffs like trees. You can only use certain tools on certain things, so like your hatchet, you can't use it on plants and other such things. So we want to make our spirit hatchet as well, but we're gonna need roughwood sticks. So the best thing for sticks is literally just go and punch one of these small trees. Okay, now that you've done that, you've got your basics together for the spirit hatchet. We've already got our twine together, and we needed 3 of those sticks. And bam, now we have a tool. Now to equip that tool, you can press Q, and it'll bring it up. There are 4 in total. These tools do not degrade. They don't go anywhere. If you die, they still remain in your inventory. So once you've made these tools, you're good to go with them, so you don't have to worry about maintaining them. Now, with these tools, there is 2 different types of collection, and you can see it, like the actual hatchet part, it glows the color of your faction. So each faction has different tattoos, different glowing, and even your eyes glow. So your left mouse here, you're going to end up collecting sticks and such like that. If you use your right swing, you end up collecting logs. So each tool has 2 different functions. You have the left swing and the right swing. I don't know if there's actually different names for it, but there we go. Perfect, and that's awesome. That brings us to our next thing, leveling up. Alright, so now that we have a level, if we take a look down at our bar down here, it's all purple and it's flipped over once we've got a level. You want to actually come up and check out your talents. I'm sorry, I'm clicking on the wrong ones here. So you'll have 2 different types of talents that you can take a look at. You can only get 1 master talent. We'll take a look at that in a minute. But you can select 2 different paths to go along. Now my first playthrough I did Pathfinder and Shaman because I liked them. I'm actually going to go ahead and select those ones again. So I'm going to go with Pathfinder. I'm not going to go into all of them. I do say take a few minutes and actually stand there and just take a look and see what you might be into. So we're going to select Pathfinder and I'm going to go with Shaman as well. So there's 2 different ones I can actually apply points to. So for Pathfinder right away, what I like is that you get more skill experience per rank. Train metabolism, this one's a big one for me. That's why I chose Pathfinder. Because it increases your base energy and hydration by 10% per rank. And that's a pretty big deal. Right off the bat, you're going to have to really worry about eating and keeping your water levels up. So now that I've selected an actual skill in that one, it's locked in. I can't actually go and press a new one. But if I want to check out the other ones, I can come here and check those ones out too. This one's pretty damn cool. But anyways, let's move on from that. We need to keep going down the crafting menu here. So next thing we can make is our spirit mallet, which is used for rocks. It's a tool, it's a hammer. So we need roughwood log, which I got from right-clicking the tree, a fiber twine, and some sticky sap. Now the sticky sap also comes from right-clicking on the trees as well. So I'm going to go collect some more of that and make myself another fiber twine. Okay, so we got our sticky sap, which is awesome. So we can go ahead and make our spirit mallet. Bam. That goes ahead and unlocks our other stuff here too. Now, a spirit pick I recommend making right away too, in case you run across any stuff. We also need to make the sickle right away. So I actually recommend making this and then the sickle, because that'll give you food. You'll need food right off the bat. You're not going to be killing any of these enemies very quickly. So let's go ahead and make our rough weave shirt. We're going to need a whole bunch of plant fibers and fiber twine. I'm not going to bother making these because this will be much more useful for getting this stuff. It's for getting your fiber and everything you need. So we're going to need a flint. So in order to get our flint, we're going to have to go ahead, press Q, select our spirit mallet. You can also like quick go through them by pressing Q, but sometimes bringing up the menu is quicker. And we're going to look for a rock or a stone. There's one right over here. Okay, so now that you're at the rock, what you're going to want to do to get that flint is right click onto the rock, and that'll give you flint and some other goods. And if you left click on it, it'll give you crumble stone and rock salt, which is good for preserving your food. So go ahead and grab a few of those, and you should be good for a little bit coming through the crafting menu. Alright, so we got the flint we need for it, but I have to go ahead. If we look at our crafting queue here, I have to make a rough weave shirt. So that means I need to go ahead and punch a few more bushes here. But now that I have a weapon in my hand, you know, I can flip through them, but I can't do too much. You can either go here and go put away, or press X. X will also remove your weapon for you. So I'm going to go ahead and collect a bunch of raw fibers and get that chest made up so we can go ahead and make the sickle. Alright, so we got enough going here. Fun fact, if you make your clothes, you can even run around when you're crafting. You're actually slower when you're crafting, so keep that in mind. When you make armor and stuff, it actually auto-equips for you, so you don't have to worry about it. You can open up your inventory and bam, it's already equipped for you. You can see your weapons over here, and your offhands will end up over here too as well. But let's go ahead and build that spirit sickle. So for this, we need one more fiber twine. We do have all our roughwood sticks together. We're going to craft that sucker. And it'll actually show up once it's done in our radial menu now. So we can equip that, and now that we have this, we can actually go after plants, because we're starting to get hungry now. So what you'll see is a bunch of fruit laying around the maps, basically. So this is melon. I'm going to go ahead and left click on the melon, and that's going to give me a whole bunch of morsels. Now what these suckers do is they give you water and food, but you're going to have to go ahead and get a whole ton of them to keep yourself steady. The food struggle right off the bat is real, so I'm going to go ahead and grab a whole bunch of these and get my health and my water back up. And by health and water, I mean my hunger. Just as a tip, early game, you might get attacked by a boar or a wolf. I would actually highly recommend just kind of running off, staying around this area where the rocks are, so you're in the noob area. And after a while, he'll actually just kind of stop chasing you. There he goes. And fun fact, if he's on the retreat, you actually can't do damage to him or aggro him again. And if they do get stuck somehow in the environment, they actually become invincible and will just despawn or return to their original location. So you can't really bug them out too well, but I'm going to go ahead and still fill myself up here. Alright, so I got my hunger and my thirst up to a reasonable level. So I'm going to go ahead, open up my crafting again, and we're going to move along. Our next concentration should probably to kill some meat. So we're going to make our bow and also armor ourselves here too. This is our basic armor. We're going to go ahead and have to get some more raw fiber, make some more twine, and for this we need some twine too. So luckily we still have our scythe. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing this properly. I think it's scythe, that's my bad. So with your scythe in hand, you also do get two different types of collections on these trees now. If you use your left click, you're going to get stuff like Tanglevine and some other rares. There we go, some Fida Root. These are actually really handy if we take a look and open up our inventory, or press Alt to move our mouse and mouse over it. What it does, it gives you 10 stamina, so you can actually eat these while you're running and run further. They're actually quite useful. This is not the only plant you can get them from. But we're going to go ahead and actually right click on these suckers, and you can get quite a bit of raw fibers from these trees. And this is a good introduction to actually buffs and debuffs. If we press Alt here, whoops, the right Alt, move over here. The gods protect you in the sacred place. PvP damage dealt to you will be reflected back at the attacker. So as long as you're in this area, you cannot be PvP'd. You're fine. If the server has PvP. Some servers may not be PvP. It depends on the server itself. But if you've seen when we were hitting these things, I'm going to actually grab a few more fibers. This is why I say make the sickle first, because it's way easier to grab the fibers this way. Makes more sense, right? You get more stuff from using tools. We'll take a look at the skills here soon too. So now that we have these, it's stacked 3 times, and if we mouse over it, it says tangled in the vines, movement speed reduced, and it decays in 10 more seconds. So you can actually see a timer go down for it. It shows you, I believe, the last 10 seconds, and then it times out, and you're good to go. But now that we have all that together, we should be able to make our basics here. So we're going to need 2 twine. We're going to need 8 twine altogether. So if you actually right click on the actual item, it'll bring up a menu, and there you can select more. You can't type it, unfortunately. You can craft all, or you can select how many you want to do, or just craft 1. Confirm that sucker, and it will craft 8 in a row for you. Perfect. So now we have enough to make our trousers and enough to make our sandals. So we're gonna go ahead and make, oh, nope, we don't have enough to make our sandals. We need 2 more raw fiber. Let's go ahead and grab a couple more of those. Sweet, right by the tree. And we got a level up out of the deal. Sick. Alright, so we made our boots, we made our pants. Those automatically went on our bodies, which is good. And now it's time to actually go ahead and make our bow. The bow's easy. You get 1 fiber twine and 6 roughwood sticks. Doesn't take very long to collect at all. So we're going to make one of these, and if you take a close look down here, when it does go, this is a simple bow. And we ended up actually making a flimsy bow because our first few attempts at making different items, you're not going to be so good at doing it. So what I would recommend is actually going and switching to your spirit hatchet, grabbing yourself some more sticks. There we go. These small trees don't give you very many, but they're really easy to hit. The big trees give you the logs and whatnot. So we're going to go ahead and hit a few of these up and make ourselves a few more bows here. So we're going to go, oops, we're going to have to make some more fiber twine too. Perfect. There we go. Make a couple more bows. And if we watch them pop down into the inventory, there we go. We got a flimsy bow again. Wasn't so good. We'll cover these once we get to the faction base here too. There we go. So I was finally able to make a simple bow, which is actually better than the flimsy bows. You can see like even the icon for it makes it look so much better. So we're going to take these and actually just toss them out. Just simply drag them out of your inventory. Take our simple bow and slide it into our weapon slot. Now we got ourselves our first bow. Perfect. And what I'm doing is I'm pressing right, and what it does is it pulls your bow out and draws it for you. So next step, of course, is to work your way down the list, and those are rough arrows, which calls for rough sticks, which is awesome. So we're going to go ahead, get out our axe, and collect some more rough sticks, and mix some of those arrows up. Alright, now that I got a whole bunch of sticks going, you can go ahead and craft like 3 at a time. Or you can right click on it and craft all. So I'm going to go ahead and craft all because we need a bunch of those sticks. And it's coming up on nighttime, which is sick because it calls for a crude torch. Perfect. So you see how these are leveling up. You see how the yellow lines around it. The more you make an item, the more skilled you get. And of course, these are the easiest items in the game. So this actually runs quite smoothly. These other ones get quite larger and it'll take you quite the amount of time to do it. Also to note, when you do make multiple arrows, sometimes you get a bonus and you actually get double the crafting out of it. So the more talented you get in it, the more chance you get at getting double the ammo. So sometimes you'll get ×6 instead of ×3, which is pretty damn cool. So now that we've completed that, we need one of these here too. We're going to make up a couple fiber twines. It's almost nighttime, so we might need this to see a little bit. And especially if you go into caves, once you go into a cave, it goes like pitch black. Perfect. So now that we made our torch automatically goes into our inventory in the right spot here too. And the quick button to pull out your torch is G. But be careful because they all have durability and they only last so long. It's already 57 of 60. So these simple wood torches, you should actually make yourself a few of them. If you get stuck in a pitch dark cave, it actually really sucks. Next objective is to find some sustainable food. So next in our menu here is we're going to have to build a campfire. That is why I said to grab some crumble stone earlier. So we're going to go ahead and craft one of those up. And then we're going to go and kill ourselves a harmless little animal. Perfect. So as you notice, the campfire actually went into your tool belt, and it's something that you can place down on the ground. Now these do decay after a certain amount of time, and it will tell you that because you don't have a divinity stone down for building, which locks your stuff so it doesn't decay. But anyways, if we look around, we can see different types of enemies. We're not going to put the fire down yet. There's these guys here. If you pull it out and pull your arrow out, you don't even need to reload your weapon actually. If you do find different types of arrows, you can press R, hold it, and it will show them in here. All we have is the noob arrows for now. So this guy here is a gruntling. Those guys will run away from you. They're really scared. If you ever have a question if they're aggressive or not, see that grunter right there is aggressive. Pretty much just take a shot at you. If they run at you, they're aggressive. Run away if you don't want to engage. If they run in the other direction, they're not aggressive, and you're going to have to do some chasing, like I'm going to have to do with these guys here. Now, when you do aim your weapons, this is a nice little Easter egg here, guys. Aim for their buttholes. See how that showed up as orange and big writing? That means I got a crit. So with the animals, you can either shoot them right to the tree. You can either shoot them in the face or right in the butthole to get a crit. See, that wasn't a crit. I only got 7 for that sucker. So let's aim for the... Nope. Didn't get the face. This might take a few arrows. You're going to have to make a lot of these arrows right off the bat, too. I can't get them in the butthole. It's pretty... there we go. Another thing to mention. The further you are away from your enemy, the less damage you actually end up doing. Sweet. Okay, so we killed our first enemy. That's a gruntling. We're good. Sometimes their colors can shoot you off a little bit. Yeah, it's gruntling too. So let's equip any spirit weapons. So these are your spirit weapons. Any spirit weapon you can get from your animals. So if you use right mouse click, you're going to get stuff like leather. If you use left mouse click, you're going to get stuff like meat. So we want meat because we want to feed ourselves. There we go. We got a couple... Wow, 3 boar ribs out of the deal. Sweet. And a boar tusk, which is used for ingredients and whatnot later on. So now that we have that, we have some meat. Let's take a quick look at it here. I'm going to click Alt just to get in the habit of doing that instead of pressing I to open up so I can move my mouse. If you take a look at it, consume food poisoning increases your energy drain rate by 25%. So you really don't want to eat raw meat. It's just better to die and then go and find your body at that point, right? What you want to do is you want to cook your meat. So take out that fire and place it down simply by left clicking it down on the ground. Walk up to your fire, press F. In your inventory, you have the couple of logs that you actually use to make the fire. It doesn't... you don't have to add it. It's kind of cool. I like how they do that. So you just slide your fuel over. You can do sticks, branches. I like to use branches too. Click that sucker on. Now your campfire is on. Take your meat and slide that right into the campfire inventory. There actually is no queue for this. There's absolutely no queue, so you can't see how long it takes for this meat to craft. That kind of threw me off because it has a crafting queue thing down here, but there's no recipes. So you won't see it, but it'll just over time end up becoming poorly cooked meat, which is friggin' awesome. And that's what we want, because that's much easier than banging 3,000 melons and trying to keep yourself alive that way. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait until this last one is done. Okay, so it's all done. I could turn this fire on, I could turn it off. Rumor goes that fires actually keep enemies at bay. So as long as you're by a fire, you're actually relatively safe. Just kind of keep that in mind. This game isn't too harsh on the PvE and like the beginning areas, so you don't really have to worry about it. But yeah, I do recommend just kind of chilling out by one if you're just chilling. So now we got our meat in our inventory. I took it out of the fire. If we take a look at it, consume feasting poorly cooked meat. Restores 20 energy over 1 minute. It's kind of lackluster. It's not that great. And it says this looks edible. But if we go to our crafting menu, we see that we have salt cured meat. And that takes the rock salt that we got from the rock earlier by left clicking on that sucker. And what it does is it gives you meat that restores 30 energy over 1 minute. So it does much better, but it also does drain your thirst, which isn't that big of a deal because we'll be getting to the lake here very soon. So I'm going to go ahead and make up a couple of those. Those will keep for a while in my inventory. And they go right into your tool belt, into the first empty slot. And then just to simply use it, I'm going to go ahead and press 1. And you can see I am feasting on salt cured meat. Restores 30 energy over 1 minute. So my energy is almost all the way back up, which is awesome. This means I'm pretty much ready to go. You can work your way through these other things here too, but it's a good time now to kind of go towards the faction base. Oh, these suckers here. If you're going to be fighting animals that attack you, you're going to want rough fiber bandages. So the first gold poppy field I find, we're going to go ahead and hit that. Oh, look at that. One right beside us. Found one. So I'm going to go ahead and get my scythe out. It says sickle. What's the difference between a sickle or a scythe? Aren't they the same thing? Or is it spelled that way and said that way? Help me out here, guys, in the comments. But I'm going to go ahead and left click on it. And that's going to give me gold poppy petals, which is cool. You don't get too many. It depends on the server settings. You can have multipliers so that you get more from collecting, you know, more experience and whatnot. But now that we got a few of these together, open up our crafting. We're going to need some raw fibers too. My bad. Let's go ahead and grab some more raw fibers. To note, you can also get raw fibers by right-clicking on any plant like this. If this was melons and I was right-clicking on it, I get raw fibers instead of melons. So there, perfect. I don't have to go too far from my fire. I like the fire ambience. It's pretty nice. So I'm going to go ahead too and make at least one of these. At least one, because this will stop bleeds and stuff. Bleeds will kill you a lot. There is not that... Dying isn't too bad in this game unless you're far from the base and you have a lot of good stuff in your inventory, because your inventory does drop aside from your tools, so you'll lose everything in your inventory. Other than that, you have 5 minutes to get your stuff back, and that's the only downfall to dying. But I do tend not to like to die. That's the whole point of the game, right? And if you see, we place the campfire down in the menu, it says this placeable will expire in 72 hours. So anything you build outside of a personal base, which is down the road, or the faction base, will expire after 72 hours. So now it's a good time, I think, to get our butts and head on down towards this tree over here. We're going to see our faction. You can probably see the shield from here. You can. If we take a look, I'm going to draw our bow. That funky looking suckers over there, the spires, that's what we want to head towards. And on our way, we're actually going to come across a lake down here, which is usually has a couple wolves around it. So another tip on the way. Shift is to run and see these yexen? I don't even know how to say that. The oxen? They're pretty much oxen. Anyways, don't try to take one of these suckers on. They'll kick your ass. That's like a group hunt, guaranteed. Unless you have like super multipliers on, but yeah. I've never killed one, and we've had like a group of 4 go at them. I think it takes a little more than that. But anyways, yeah, don't try to take one of those suckers on. Save your life. So I've ran here north towards a tree far enough, and now I see the lake. So that is your main source of water. You're going to find like little pools here and there in the world. That is going to save your butt. That's where you're going to get a drink of water. Water is a big deal in this game. After a while, it'll be a little easier. You won't have to drink as much. It'll degrade less. But like right off the bat, you can tell I already need to go and get myself a drink of water. But watch out near this place, because sometimes there's a few wolves kicking around the water. They know all the animals come down there to get it, and they want to pick them off, right? Not that they actually do, but that's why the wolves are near the water. Anyways, let's go down to the shore here. I'm looking out. We just started this save, so I'm not sure if they're actually going to be here right off the bat. I don't really see them. So we might be lucky, but if you're on a populated server that's already running, there's going to be wolves and stuff kicking around down here. So to simply get water, you just run into it and press F. I have to apologize. My server is actually restarting at the moment, so I can't press F. We'll do it here once I get restarted. Alright, so the server's restarted here, and now it's magically daytime mode again. I don't know how much progress I lost, but that's okay. I just had to do an update. So if you run into the water here, you can press F to drink. Bam, done. Just as a tip later on, when you do build one, the rough hide water skin, it'll actually fill up too, as long as you're in the water and you press F. Ah, there we go. Maybe it was a server restart why we didn't see the wolves. But there's one of the wolves right there. Those are the suckers you have to watch out for. They're actually called prowl fangs. There should be one over there too. Yeah, one right there. And I think there may be another one kind of kicking around back here. Oh shit, there it is. I found it. Alright, so run like the dickens here. You can still get away from these wolves. They might get close to you, but we may have to use that one bandage that I managed to make. But we're still going to be running towards the world tree here, and we're going to try to get to the faction base, which is over there with the shields. Oh crap, it's still behind me. This sucker really wants my blood. Alright, so I managed to get away here, and I just came up the hill, and oh, there we go. It just popped up. I just crossed over our stronghold. So I joined the Order faction this time around. I actually meant to join the first one, which is my mistake. But yeah, this is your faction base. This is what it looks like right off the bat. If you're joining an established server, you'll probably see walls, spikes, turrets, like just stuff all over the place, right? But this is what it looks like when nobody has touched anything. So we're going to go over the basics over here. What we have are 4 buildings. They have nothing in them. They're just frames for now. Your goal is to actually upgrade these buildings. Go and collect stuff, upgrade. It makes your quality of life easier, unlocks more things. You can build and do and see more things. So our first station here that we're going to look at, and the first one I always say to upgrade, is our construction shop frame. That'll give us some more stuff we can build, including our furnace, which we use for cooking, which gives you way better recipes out of the food, so that you don't have to worry about your food and water levels so much, or your food and hydration levels. The second thing I'd like to concentrate on is your Mystic Shrine, which makes the second part of the food you need to make in that furnace. So this is a good second thing to make, and it's really quick to make. This one's really easy. That one's pretty easy. And then the third one over here, our Hunting Lodge. This one is the hardest one, and the last upgradable starter building that you get. This one here, it's pretty much self-explanatory. Hunter's Lodge, it gives you all your weapons and everything else in the crafting table that you can make that you just don't have access to through your basic crafting. So this is your faction, so everyone can come to these tables, they can use them, they can use the supplies that are left in the tables. So you have to remember that too. If you're making something for yourself, just kind of stick around for a minute and grab it and then take off, because someone else can right off the bat, especially if you're at this stage. And our last station over here, this one is not upgradable. This is the clan research station. This is one of the most important things, I think, out of all of the stations. You don't have to worry about upgrading or anything, and it may seem a little confusing at first, but if we take a look at our inventory, we've collected some sparks along the way from collecting stuff, from doing different things. You'll come along these and collect them all the time. They're kind of like reputation in a way. So we have quite a few of them. We have 15 of the Mysticism, some adventuring, some construction. And what you do with these suckers, if you go to the appropriate one, press F on it, this is your research tab up at the top. This is not your research. What this is actually the whole faction's research. Holy crap, I almost choked on that word. It's a whole faction, not clan. It's a whole faction's research. So there's a whole bunch of different ones in here that you need to do, so you unlock different things for your whole faction as a whole. So like if we go to stash building over here, this is one I think that really you should concentrate on right off the bat, and then kind of move on to other ones, like, you know, maybe the ammo alternatives and then your divinity seeds, so you can build your bases and whatnot. But you collect the sparks, and you can come in here, click the research button, and progress the research a little bit. Once you get to the end of the bar, it unlocks these, and your faction can now build a stash building, right? Let's take a look at another one here that we actually have. We'll go with adventuring. This one here is very, very useful too. So this is your adventuring research. So as you can see, no research is done because I'm the only one here so far. I'm playing by myself at the moment. We can do one research at a time, or we can max it out. I usually just like to click on max. The first one I like to research is leather armor. That gives you better armor and a full set that you can use. Armor is pretty important. You could do hunting bows, upgraded water skins so you can carry more water and go further with the water. Cloth armor, which will keep you warm and stuff, I believe. And your personal saw, which you really don't have to worry about because you won't be building yourself a base for quite a while. So I would recommend doing your leather armor first as a faction, and then bam, if you click that research button, as you can see, I'm now 4%. We've done 4% of the research towards leather armor. Now that's not much considering how much effort I already put in, but if you have 20 people playing in your faction and handing these in, you can actually go up the researches quite quickly. They get steeper and more expensive as you go up. Like these cost 10 and cost something like 100 or 1,000 of them. So there's quite a bit by the time you start working your way up the ranks. But that's the basics of these. So never toss these aside. These are one of the most important things out of all the game. You as a faction should decide which ones are the most important. Mysticism, out of my opinion, I think the spirit stables are, because you really want to get yourself animals and stuff trained. Yes, you can have pets and stuff in this game, and they're very, very useful. There's up to 20 at this point, I believe, a little over 20 that you can tame and keep as your own pet. But that's the basics of this faction. Now, unfortunately, it's not nighttime. I was going to show you guys the spirits, But at nighttime, spirits come out. You can collect them with any spirit tool. That may change too. I'm not sure how that's going to be sticking around down the road. But they are those little blue glowing orbs that you see floating around. If you click on them, like to collect them, they'll go into your spirit bar over here, which you can also upgrade. 0 of 20, so I can hold up to 20 spirits. So when I do have spirits, I come over to this tree, their divinity stone over here, and I press F on it. I can deposit souls, or I can fast travel, which is later on in the game. You don't have to worry about that yet. You can travel different spots, but it drops all your inventory. Or you can deposit souls, which is the main point of the game, and that's what we're getting to now. That bar up there, by default on vanilla, you need to collect 10,000 souls to fill that sucker up. So coming over here and depositing the souls in helps fill up that bar. But if you're playing PvP, you have enemy factions that want to come and steal your souls. As long as your shield's up, they can't do that. But they want to come steal the souls. And also, when you have a Reckoning, you do have PvE faction from the spirit world that wants to come and free all the souls up in here too. So they'll go after it. So it's a long, lengthy event. Apparently a proper PvP session takes about 4 to 6 weeks of 20 versus 20 versus 20. So it should be really interesting to see what goes on. Now, our next main function is to actually start upgrading these buildings here. But because these buildings do take a long time and it takes multiple people to do it, I'm not going to get that done on vanilla settings. So I'm going to shut the server down. I'm going to stick it to 10 times everything. And we're going to start upgrading these as if I was a group of people doing it. We're having a little bit of difficulties with the server here tonight. The host is having a little bit of a hard time. So I'm going to, unfortunately, looks like I'm going to have to do this alone. So I'm going to pop that up to 10 times for everything, just so I can go ahead and get this done without spending 9 hours making this video. After recording the entire episode, I found this video to be way too long, so I've actually gone ahead and decided to split this video in two. So if you look down in the comments, I will link the second video when it does come out to your faction base. This one's your basic survival. The next one will be your faction base part 2. Anyways, guys, I want to thank you for coming out once again. Stay classy, always survive, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, and have a good one.